the first round of 2020. It's kind of regretting it, but I didn't grade it any of these guys last draft just because I didn't started my channel in it. So yeah, let's get started. And then at the end, I'll be looking at some non first round noble non first round picks. So let's get the video started. First off, we got first overall pick Caleb Williams for the Bears. He had a decent, he didn't have a terrible year. It's partially just because high expectations and because he had he had the best rookies. Out of the quarterbacks who played, he had the best situation coming into the year. Because if you're looking at just all the quarterbacks drafted in the first round, it was JJ McCarthy for the Vikings, but he never played because of injury. So yeah, because he had three good wide receivers. He had a terrible line, but yeah, he had a good running back. Yeah, he also had a great play caller or anything, but just I caught it all in consideration. So stats wise, he had 33,541 yards, 20 TDs, 6 INTs, 489 rushing yards. He had 0 rushing TDs, so I didn't put that there. So he had a good rookie year. Just the great. I just gave him a C plus just because of the expectations, and he did hold the ball a lot for too long, which was part of the reason why I took so many sacks. That's part of putting the grade. If it wasn't for expectations and him being a first overall pick, he'd probably be a B, some B minus. But just like when you have higher expectation, than hurts you because he still did not have that good of a record this year with the Bears in it. So next up, we got second overall for the Commanders. We had Jaden Daniels. He had a great year. So yeah, stats wise, he had 3,568 yards, 25 TDs, 9 INTs, 891 rushing yards, and 6 rushing TDs. So yeah, 31 total touchdowns. He had a great year in the regular season. Helped lead the Commanders to surprise playoff berth. Helped them lead them to NFC Championship game in his rookie year. He went, and they were the second overall pick. They were not. Nobody had the Commanders being that good. That's it. Like nobody thought the Commanders would be this good, and they were. Versus nobody expected the Bears. Everybody expected the Bears to be better, but they weren't. So yeah, great year for Daniels. I didn't do it for anybody else in playoffs, but that's partially just because a lot of quarterbacks didn't make it. Some guys just didn't make it, and just like he helped lead the Commanders in the playoffs. He played 3 games. He had 822 yards, 5 passing TDs, 1 pick. I have those rushing stats on, but yeah, he had a great playoffs, and like if it wasn't for all the rest of this team having fumbling issues, they might have. They probably had it closer. So like he didn't. He only threw 1 pick, but yeah, like and yeah, like he was on his fault. Yeah, he had a great year, rookie regular season and playoffs. So yeah, like the Commanders are looking really good. Like they're looking a lot better than they thought coming in next year than people thought they would. So good on him. It's great to A plus. Like he well exceeded their expectations. So good on him. Next we got number 3. We got another quarterback. We got Drake May to the Patriots. So yeah, like he did not. He only played 13 games, so as you can see, like for guys who either just were backups or got injured, I put how many games they played. But they played almost all the games. I usually didn't play many games. But he only played 13 because he was behind Jacoby Brissett for the first few games. Yeah, stats wise, he had 2,276 yards, 15 TDs, 10 INTs, 421 rushing yards, and 2 rushing TDs. So yeah, like he didn't have a great year for third overall pick, but also he had a terrible team around him. Like the Patriots were awful. Like he had terrible line. Did not have really any good weapons. Because like there's only so much you can do. He showed a lot of spotlight. And if you didn't like it, he did make the Pro Bowl as a rookie. So grade I gave him B minus, just because it was part. He didn't have great season, but just like he also didn't have a good team around him versus Caleb Williams had a great team around him. Oh, okay, well, maybe I won't say great. He had a better team around him. It's a better way to put for the Bears. But yeah, right. Good year for May. So lots. He's trying a lot. Let's see how he does next year. Hopefully, Patriots can get some better weapons and some better protection. Let's see what happens. Next, let's get we'll pick our first non-quarterback. We're still on offense, so got Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals at 4. So yeah, he had a good rookie year. It's just expectations and some of the other wide receivers drafted behind him had way better years. Like Neighbors drafted a couple picks after. I'm trying Thomas Jr. drafted later first. And McConaughey drafted in the second. And even if you're just doing guys who catch a lot of balls, Brock Bowers, a tight end. I'm not saying Carson drafted Brock Bowers at 4, but still, he did have a great year. Yeah, he did not, and he was also expected to be one of the greatest rookie wide receivers ever. So yeah, stats wise, he has 62 catches, 160 on 116 targets, 885 receiving yards, and 8 TDs. So he did not have a bad year. It's just compared to those other four wide receivers, other three wide receivers in the tight end I mentioned, he did not have that good of a year because they all had 1,000 yards. And the Cardinals did not have much other weapons to throw to, so other than Trey McBride. So yeah, he still had a good year. Just expectations, all that. I give him greatest C minus. Let's forget I mentioned Caleb Williams. Part of great going into it is also who do they draft him over? Like they drafted Williams over Jaden Daniels. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels would help the Bears make the playoffs, but still, like they could have taken him instead, and he had a lot better year this year with a worse team. So that's part of it too. So yeah, like if it wasn't for all the guys drafted, great receivers drafted behind them, probably would have been a little better of a grade. But that's what happens sometimes. We still had a good rookie year. See how he does next year with the Cardinals. And so that's it for Harrison. Now let's go to 5. We got first O lineman. We got Joe Alt to the Chargers at 5. So for O lineman, I just did like how many snaps they did, like penalties, how many pass blocking snaps they had, and how many sacks they had. And part of the grade I looked at PFF just because I don't know how the greatest way to look at O lineman. That's the hard part of how I did it. I try not to factor it in too much because they're not always the most accurate. But that's just how I did it. So that's part of the factor in grade. So his stats wise, he took 1,010 snaps. He took 6 penalties, which is not always a huge deal, but this I just felt like it was worth mentioning. He had 602 pass blocking snaps. On all those, he had 6 sacks allowed. So for rookie tackle, he had a good year. Like most rookie linemen struggle. He helped get the Chargers to playoffs on their first year with their new head coach. It's great. I gave him. It's an A plus. Still the best. Like as of now, probably still the best tackle in this draft. We'll see how it goes for 2 years. I think he will, but some things can change. It's only the rookie year, especially with the linemen. Because a lot of the linemen take a couple years to develop. He had a great year, so I give him a grade of A plus. Good on him. See how he does next year. I have the Chargers. So that's it for all. Now we got another skill position player. We got another wide receiver. At 6, we get the Giants with Malik Neighbors, wide receiver. Yeah, he had a great year as well. He had a great year. He was one of the few spotlights on that Giants offense, and he had terrible quarterback play thrown to him, and he still had a great year. So that's what I saw is he had 109 catches on 170 targets, 1,204 yards, and 7 TDs. He had a great year. His quarterback play wasn't terrible. So it's just like it's even more impressive. And like he's gonna be if he can get good quarterback play from next year, he should be even better. And so yeah, I give him A plus. Just like he had a great year. So good on him. That's it for neighbors. Number 7. Who was at the number 7? Number 7, we got the Tennessee Titans right in another tackle. We got J.C. Latham. Yeah, put the same stats I did for Alt. So yeah, so that's why I say 1,095 snaps, 10 penalties, 666 pass blocking snaps, and 7 sacks. So yeah, he played a little more snaps than Alt, but he had more penalties and one more sack. Like one more sack on 80 plus, 80-ish more snaps isn't terrible. Oh wait, how many? So you have a 64 more pass blocking snaps. Isn't terrible, but still, we'll hope a little more. He lost struggles, but like I said, you can't expect a ton of rookie linemen if they are drafted high. He's still had a decent year. They have some struggles, so hopefully he can develop some more and have a better sophomore season. So yeah, I gave him grade of a C plus just because he has some struggles with what he did, good enough to make it a C plus, but not good enough to make it a B. So yeah, that's it for Latham. At number 8, we have the Falcons with Michael Penix, QB, got another QB. This is the first one I didn't give it a grade just because he didn't play much because he was behind Kirk Cousins for most year. So guys who just barely played any snaps because of injuries or their backups like Penix, I didn't give them a grade just because it's hard to grade them when they barely played, especially that's with injury because it's not their own fault. You come the year of Penix, we were all surprised when they drafted him, but we knew like we were none of us were expecting him to play at all this year, so that's no surprise. So yeah, stats wise, in 5 games played, he had, and some of those were just coming in as like backup, like late in the game, Kirk was struggling or blowouts. So he didn't start all of them because he became the main starter later on. So he had 775 passing yards, 3 TDs, 3 INTs, and 1 rushing TD. He didn't have much rushing yards just for the rushing TD. So yeah, he had a good year. I just didn't see enough of him to give him a grade. So like I don't know how much that would like project out to if we played all 17. I have no idea, but like probably I'm assuming to be decent. Like be like 12. Yeah, be better. I'm not good on that. I'm not gonna be. I'm not good at that kind of math. So I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, but I mean, Kennedy looked good. And one of those INTs was not his fault. That was all Kyle Pitts. Like Kyle Pitts literally handed it to the defender. So it's like that one of his 3 picks. You can't even blame him. And he almost and like Kirk Cousins hurt their chances of making the playoffs, but he almost saved it. He wasn't able to, but like that Commanders loss was not all on him. Like he had a good game. It's just the Commanders also had a great game with Shane Daniels. So we have good on him getting a good year. I just didn't feel like I saw enough of him to give him a grade, so I didn't. So yeah, number 9, we have the Bears taking another former Washington guy. We have them taking wide receiver Romo Dunze. So no skill position player, still no defensive players. There was no defensive players drafted for a little bit in this draft. Yeah, stats wise, he had 54 catches on 101 targets and 734 yards and 3 TDs. He had a good year, especially considering he had Keenan Allen, DJ Moore in that same offense. Caleb Mills had to throw to, and Cole Komet and Henry Split. So it's like he had a lot of other guys to contend with, but he still had a good year. So factor that in, just being like coming in here, being there probably a lot of people had him as their third wide receiver. Still a good year though, so I gave him a grade of B plus. I just didn't feel like he did enough to help out the Williams have a better year and help the Bears just have a better year in general. So I gave him a B plus. Still a good year though. We'll see what happens to Keenan Allen. So if Keenan Allen's leaving, he could be number 2. And even if it stays, he might be number 2 because Keenan Allen's getting up there, and they might just try to give your young guy a lot more opportunities. So yeah, that's it for number 9. Number 10, we got another QB, another guy that has no grade because he didn't play at all. We got the Vikings with JJ McCarthy. Yeah, he had 0 snaps. He didn't play. Like yeah, he might have like if it wasn't he got injured in the preseason, so then he missed all the year. If he didn't get injured, maybe he would have played some. With like in late on in games with blowouts, he probably would have barely played just because outside the final 2 games of their season, Darnold looked good. There was no reason to bench him. So yeah, didn't play. No grade. We'll see, he looked good in that one preseason game, but it's also preseason. So we'll see how he does this upcoming season with Darnold most likely gone. So yeah. Number 11, we got another lineman. We got the New York Jets with Oli Fushanu. Yeah, they trade down with the Vikings 1 pick. We got Fushanu, who they probably were taking at 10 if they stayed. So yeah, in 534 snaps, he had 7 penalties, 372 pass following snaps, he had 1 sack. So yeah, penalties aren't everything, like I said, with one of the previous alignment, but you still don't want a ton of penalties. I don't know how many of them holdings, false starts, and all this stuff. I couldn't find that. I just saw how many penalties he had, so that's what I put. Some of them might have been less bad than but still, like he had more penalties than Joe Alt did in almost half of the snaps. Like that's not great. But like they were planning on development coming into the season. That's why they had Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. But when you know what happens when you bring in 2 injury-prone tackles, they get injured. What? So they get injured and they end up having to play more than they wanted. He still looked fine. I felt like he played enough snaps for me to give him a grade versus some of these other guys past few picks. So I gave him a grade of a C plus. Could have been He didn't do great, but he didn't do terrible. He'll he'll hopefully he'll do a little better with him knowing that we just started going into next year. So we'll see how they do, and him being their prediction for whoever the quarterback ends up being. So yeah, that's it for number 11. Number 12, we got another QB. We got the Broncos with Bo Nix. Another QB who had a surprisingly good year and helped lead their team in playoffs. So yeah, Bo Nix, he had a great year. He had 3,775 yards, 29 passing TDs, 12 INTs, 430 rushing yards, and 4 rushing TDs. He also caught one touchdown. So yeah, he had a great year. He helped lead the Broncos to playoffs for the first time since they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning back in 2015. So yeah, great year there. He didn't do much in the playoffs, but nobody it was no surprise they lost the Bills in the playoffs. Like nobody's expected to make the playoffs. So they want to win a playoff game. Yeah, still a good year. Surprised a lot. They and the Broncos surprised a lot of people making the playoffs. So I give him a grade of A plus. He had a great year. Let's see how he does next year with the Broncos. That's it for him. Number 13, we got another great skill position player. We got Brock Bowers of the Raiders. Yeah, he had a great year as well. He broke records for a rookie tight end. He had 112 catches on 153 targets, hit 1,194 yards, and 5 TDs. He's one of the few spotlights on the Raiders offense. One of the very, very few spotlights on the Raiders offense. So, yeah, the defense they were like he was one of the few guys they didn't have much to have to worry about, but and he was one of the very few on that offense, and they still couldn't stop him. So yeah, he had a great year. So I gave him grade A plus. Yeah, and it's been a good year for a tight end. So good on him. That was a relatively easy grade. Number 14, we got another O lineman. Still no defense. So we got the Saints. They can tackle Talise Huaga. Yeah. So yeah, he no, I wasn't expecting much coming in the year, but he did not do very good. So yeah, on 1,070 snaps, he had 10 penalties, 657 pass blocking snaps. He had 6 sacks. Well, he allowed 6 sacks, I would say. He didn't, and then get 6 sacks. I hope not. That'd be impressive because he's all lineman. But yeah, no. So yeah, he is okay. Like that Saints offense, a lot of struggles this year and a lot of injuries. Still play a lot of snaps. So yeah, I gave him a grade of it. I don't know why I put stats next to his grade. Whoops, grade. So he had some struggles, but it wasn't all his fault. But so I gave him a grade of a C minus. Could have done better. Hopefully, with a little more development, he'll be able to do better. 15, we got our first defender. Finally, we have the Colts taking edge. Latu. So yeah, yeah, he had a good year. Like he had 32 total tackles, 16 solo, 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 38 pressures. So he had a good rookie year, went a little higher, and he did play. They have a decent amount of decent players on that edge, so they do a little rotation. So I didn't get a ton of snaps, but few picks later, they when was he drafted? 20? Yeah, 19. The Rams get Jared Verse. Like, Jared Verse would have been a great pick here for them. But that was another fault. So that factored that into it. So I gave them a grade of a B minus. I'm going to find a good picture of him. So I put in just a random former Colts player. I might be Troy Freeney. I don't know for sure. So he had a good year, though. See how he does next year with the Colts. That's the new DC as well. Number 16, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking another defensive player. We've done 3 in a row. They took D tackle Byron Murphy the second. So yeah, fine. Let's say first tier D line guy now. He did not have that good of a year. He didn't play huge ton, but he only did play. Did not look good because they had Leonard Williams in front of him. But yeah, 34 total tackles, 12 solo, 0.5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, and 21 pressures. So he didn't do huge ton. And he didn't do great against the run either. It's like this is my worst grade so far. I think it might be the worst grade in this whole thing. You know what? I don't know why I put D minus. I'm just gonna put D. Don't need me C minus. So he had a lot of struggles. That sucks. Go take and shared verse. So yeah, or they could have helped their tackle out and taken some tackles. Yeah, it all right year. Hopefully they'll bear some more playing time next year with my bonus getting a little older. Number 17, we got another defender. We got another edge rusher. We have the Minnesota Vikings taking out Dallas Turner. He did played outside linebacker this year. So yeah. He played 15 games. I mentioned the snaps for him just because he didn't play a lot of snaps because they had Andrew Van Ginkel and Jonathan Bernard in front of him, and they liked putting rotating Patrick Jones in there too. So like he just didn't have some playing time. Wasn't all his fault. The guys in front of him had really good years. So yeah, but on 302 snaps, he had 15 total tackles, 10 solo, 3 sacks, 12 pressures, and even got 1 pick against the Seahawks. So when he didn't play, he looked good. It's just he didn't play a lot. I consider not giving him snaps, but like I feel like 302 snaps is still enough for me to give him a grade. So I gave him a grade of a C plus. I could have been a little more lenient just because he didn't play a ton, but he also didn't play a ton. But he did look good when he did. So hopefully we'll see with Patrick Jones probably gone for Vikings next in this offseason, though. Hopefully we'll get some more playing time with them, but we'll still have Van and Bernard, barring a major surprise for those guys. Yeah, he had a good year when he played. So yeah. Number 18, we're back to the offense. We got lineman. We got the tackle Marius Mims, the Bengals. So he didn't play much, but when he another guy that when he did, he did not do that good because he didn't play much at Georgia partially because of he had some good linemen in front of him at first, and then his last year at Georgia he dealt injuries, so he didn't play a ton. So it's kind of like he needs some development. They tried giving that to him with Orlando Brown and Trent Brown in front of him, but both of them dealt with injuries. Another team that had 2 tackles that seemed to be injury prone these last few years. Yeah, he ended up having to play 835 snaps. He had 4 penalties and 561 pass blocking snaps. He allowed 4 sacks. So yeah, like he looked okay. He's okay. It's just they were hoping they could develop him more by not having to play this year very much, but he ended up having to play a lot this year. You see with the over 800 snaps. So I gave him credit a C, right in the middle. He had a decent rookie year, but it's not like they missed out on much alignment. They could have drafted a guy like Jared Verse to help out their defense because they really needed that help in defense this year. But there was not that there wasn't that much great alignment left after him after Mims. So I guess I don't think injuries this year. So yeah, number 19, we're back to defense again. We got Jared Verse, edge for the Rams. He had a great rookie year. Led all rookies in pressures this year. He was near top in the league in general pressures, not just rookies. So he had a great year. He had 57 total tackles, 41 solo, 2 forced fumbles, 4.5 sacks, and 77 total pressures. So he had a great year. He helped the lead. He was a big part of their front being a great this year, along with another rookie they drafted second in Braden Fisk. So he had a great rookie year for the Rams. So I gave him a grade of A plus. First A plus in a little bit. So good on him having a great year. So yeah, number 20, we got the Steelers with another lineman. We had them they took Troy Fatano, a tackle. Yeah, another guy that they didn't play. He was partially just a backup because they were trying to develop him a little bit. But he could, but yeah, he just didn't play. So I didn't grade him. I put injuries as his grade. It's that simple. Not nearly enough snaps for me to grade him. So yeah. Number 21, we got the Dolphins taking on our edge rusher. They took Chop Robinson on our edge. Yeah, he didn't play a lot, but he looked good when he played. So yeah, 565 snaps, 18 total tackles, 13 solo, 7 sacks, and 56 total pressures. I did forget to mention some of these defenders, not their stats might not be most accurate because I saw a difference. I sometimes would see 2 different stats on ESPN and PFF, so they might all be totally accurate. But I try to make sure they're as accurate as possible. Just so you know, either way, he had a good year. He gave him a B plus. He didn't, as you see, he had some sacks on only 565 snaps. So he didn't play a ton, but he still did good when he did play. So I felt like he did good enough to give him a grade of a B plus. Same as a playing more next year. Number 22 got first corner. The Eagles took the cornerback Quinyon Mitchell. Yeah, like he had a good year, but it's funny because he didn't even end up being their best rookie corner because that was Cooper DeJean. Probably they both were really good rookie corners, but DeJean was a little better. So yeah, he had 46 total tackles, 37 solo, 12 pass deflections, and he allowed 87 passer rating, which isn't great, but that isn't everything. He had a great year. Helped turn around that Eagles defense along with Eugene. Helped turn around that Eagles secondary. Had some struggles last year, so I give him a grade of a B plus. If him and Cooper Jean switch spots were they taken, it'd be probably be both A plus just because Gooch just had a good year and he was taken a little later. So yeah, they both had great years. So yeah. Number 23, got a wide receiver. We got the Jaguars took wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., another guy with an A plus. He had a great year, and another guy who had a struggling offense around him. Not a great quarterback play. So he had 87 catches and 133 targets. He had 1,282 yards and 10 TDs. So he had a great year on the field spot in front of the few non-struggling players on that Jaguars team this last season. So I gave him a grade of A plus. He had a great year. That was a pretty easy grade. So they were back to defense, getting our corner. The Lions took cornerback Terrion Arnold. Oh, I guess I forgot to put a grade for him. Whoops. Um, uh, this is, this is in the moment grade. Sorry about that. I guess I forgot to put a grade for him. I guess I completely forgot about it. So yeah, he had 59 total tackles, 48 solo, 0 forced fumbles, 0 INTs. He had 99.2 passer rating allowed, which is not that good. But yeah, it's also partially like Lions defense had a lot of injuries this year, beat a lot of decent amount of secondary, so he had to play a lot decent amount and like big opportunities. So he lost struggles. So I felt like he did good enough to not give him a C minus in the moment, so I gave him a C plus. He had a decent year. Hopefully, he can help. He did get into the playoffs too, so hopefully he can do. Hopefully, we can have a little bit of a sophomore season. See how he does. Number 25 got another tackle. We had the Packers took tackle Jordan Morgan, another Washington guy. Another guy. He barely played at all due to injury slash just backup. He did not look that good when he played. Well, I could have given him a grade of not very good, but I just felt like I wasn't going to give him a grade just because he barely played. Like it's hard to grade a guy off with 186 snaps. So it's not a lot of snaps to grade off. So I just didn't. And he was injured. Number 26, there's another lineman. The Bucks took a two-year lineman Graham Barton out of Duke, our first guard. So yeah, in 1,064 snaps, he had 13 penalties. This is not that good. And then 651 pass blocking snaps, he allowed one sack. So yeah, he coming in here. It was probably gonna be competition between him and Sua Okuta, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember his name. But then Okuta got injured early on before the season even started. So Barton had to get thrust in the starting role. A little bit of surprise. He might have beaten him anyways, but like it was for sure once he went down injuries. He had some struggles, but once again, rookie linemen usually struggle. So hopefully he can help get a little better in his sophomore season. So I give him grade of C minus. Try to be a little more lenient with rookie linemen just because they usually are struggling. But I just feel like I could have done a little worse. But yeah, our 27. We're back to the defense. We have another edge rushers. We have Darius Robinson for the Cardinals, another guy who barely played. So yeah, like a few of these later round first round picks still with injuries, so I didn't give him grades. So yeah, he got injured in the preseason, so he got injured before the season even started, but eventually came back and played 6 games, and he had one sack and 184 snaps. So yeah, I felt like he got one sack, so I felt like it's worth mentioning. But I didn't give him a grade because he was injured. So yeah. Number 28, back to the offense. We got another wide receiver. The Chiefs took wide receiver Xavier Worthy. So yeah, like he didn't do a ton, but like he had a few touchdowns and like jet sweeps. Like his first touchdown of career was a TD. He helped get the Chiefs back to the Super Bowl again for third straight season. See how they do in a few days. So yeah, 59 catches for 98 targets for 638 yards, 6 receiving TDs, 104 rushing yards. and then 3 rushing TDs. So yeah, he had a decent rookie year. Even with Patrick Mahomes, big offensive, have some struggles. We still had a good year. He is super fast, so I put Tyreek Hill there because I could find a picture of him there. And so, yeah, he gave him grade of a B minus. So he had a decent rookie year, though. Number 29, we got another tackle. We had the Cowboys took tackle Tyler Guyton. Our guy didn't play much, but when he did play, he did not look good at all. Like, he's like, yeah, the guys who played decent amount of snaps on the line, he probably looked the worst. But I did be a little idiot. He had 668 snaps, he had 18 penalties. With 429 basket box snaps, he allowed 6 sacks. He lost struggles, a lot of penalties, which isn't everything, but you also don't want your O-line to take a ton of penalties. And he took the most penalties out of all the O-line in the first round, and he I think he was the lowest snaps I graded. So yeah, he has a lot of struggles. But he was the last tackle taking the first. And he was 29. So it's not super high, especially when you're later in the first or in the second. You don't expect them to do great. So yeah. So yeah, that's good. I gave him a C minus. Number 30, we had the Ravens. They took a corner. They took Nate Wiggins. So yeah, he had 33 total tackles, 25 solo, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, 1 TD, and a 64.6 passer rating allowed, and he also had 8 pass deflections. So he had a good rookie year. Didn't do great, so I didn't give him. So I gave him same grade as Quinyon Mitchell. I did early for him earlier. I gave him grade B plus. He had a good rookie year. The Ravens defense had some struggles this year with a new DC after losing McDonald to Seahawks head coaching job. So yeah, number 31. We got the wide receiver. We have 2 wide receivers back to back. These last 2 picks we're doing. The Niners took Ricky Pearsall, another guy. Yes, he played 11 games, which is a decent amount. I just feel like I decided not to give him a grade just because, yeah, he played 11 games, but he also got shot before the season started. So I feel like that warranted not giving him a grade. But what he did do, he had 31 catches on 46 targets, 400 yards, and 3 TDs. So I did give him the stats. I didn't want to give him a grade. It wasn't his fault he gets shot. That pretty much really put the season on downfall because he had to deal with that. So yeah. Number 32, another receiver is taken. The Panthers traded up for the Xavier the Jets. So yeah, like on 49, like if he played almost pretty much all season. He had 49 catches, 64 targets, 497 yards, and 4 TDs. Yes, the Panthers' offense had a lot of struggles. So he still not a very good year. They traded up for him to try to help out their offense. They could have taken that McConkey, but instead they traded up for the Jet, and he had some struggles. I'm not saying McConkey would have had a good year with the Panthers, but he probably would have had a better year than the Jet did this year. No offense to the Jet, but just so yeah, that part of it was just who they took over him. Like, yeah, I was gonna factor in like who did they take over him? I mean, who did they take him over? I should say, not over him. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. You should have these from here, but yeah, I gave a second D this video. I believe I gave him a D. So yeah, he had some struggles. Hopefully he can turn around and help Bryce Young have a good and our even better third year. So yeah. And that's it for first round. Now I'm gonna show you some notable non first round picks. I just put the teams they were drafting, a position. I didn't say what pick. So yeah, let's get started. First off, Charger receiver Lam McConkey. He's drafted another second. He had a great year, 1,000-yard season. In a redraft, he easily be a first round pick. Then Jets running back Braylon Allen. He was he didn't get a ton of snaps just to have Brees Hall, but he still had a good rookie year for when he did play. Another running back, Buccaneers running back Bucky Irving. He had a great year. He played a 1,000-yard season. He wasn't even the main starter all year because they had Rashad White. And then Buccaneers wide receiver Jalen McMillan. He didn't have a ton of good stats, but like he had a late season breakout and helped to keep their season line and alive after losing Chris Godwin and even losing Mike Evans for a little bit. So he had a good year. And then right after Ravens on tackle Roger Rosengarten, a rookie second round tackle, he looked good. And then it's a couple interior O-line guys, Raiders interior lineman Jackson Powers Johnson. He had a decent rookie year. like that's probably worth mentioning. Then 49ers tier lineman Dom Puny or Dominic Puny. He had a good rookie year when like he was and he stayed healthy. Well, I guess and that Niners offense stayed healthy. Then Rams D lineman Brandon Fisk. He had a great rookie year. Him and Jared Verse were two great rookie D linemen together. And then Steelers linebacker Peyton Wilson. Great. He had a good year as well. Didn't play huge a ton, but when he did, he looked good. The Packers linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, another guy. He wasn't their main starting linebacker because they had Clay Walker, but he still looked good. And another good steal corner for the Eagles. Eagles corner Cooper being one of the rare starting right corners in the NFL. He had a great rookie year. Another corner for the Commanders, Mike Sainer still. He wasn't like the main reason why they helped turn around, but he was a big part of them having a bounce back season. And another corner, Texans corner Kamari Laster. Him and um, why am I blanking on his name? Derek Stingley Jr. They were great two quarters together last season. And Packers safety Javon Bowler and another Packers safety Evan Williams. Evan Williams played a little more, but when they were both playing, they looked good. Just because the hell they had a split because they also had Xavier McKinney. They were going to be taking him off the field much. The Buccaneers safety Tyke Smith did play a ton because they had Jordan Whitehead for parts of the season, but once he got injured, he did okay in his spot. And another tier lineman, Steelers tier lineman, Zach Frazier. He was a second round pick as well. He had a good year for them. He did good for rookie lineman. The Chargers DB, Tarheeb still. Like the Chargers traded up to get McConkey, and they also got Tarheeb, the pick they used on Tarheeb still from the Patriots. Yeah, like that trade up was pretty good. So yeah, and looking back at 2024 NFL draft. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you have a good one.